Hi guys, Ravensong here. It's been a long time. I'm not even sure how long it's been. Anyways, I am camping right now and everybody's gone fishing and I'm here in the camper by myself. Well, with my new companion, Fallon. Say hi to the people. He's our new addition to our family. Unfortunately, we lost Penny a couple weeks ago, my sweet baby. And we knew it was coming to that point, so we finally had to let her go. And anyways, let's move on from there because I'll start crying. Anyways, yeah, so everybody's gone fishing, and so I'm here by myself with Fallon, and I thought I'd go ahead and show you this deck, which came in just before we left town. It is one that I saw at INATS, the International New Age Trade Show in Denver, and I looked at it, but I don't think it triggered anything in my mind. And then I saw it someplace else and thought, wow, that's a really fascinating deck. So let's take a look at it. Hope this works. I'm trying something different. Flip the phone onto the table. All right, let's see how this goes. Anyways, so yeah, I saw it someplace else and it was like, that looks really interesting. I've got to look at that. It may have been somebody doing a reading with it and it was like, wow. Or maybe journaling, I'm not even sure. So this comes from US Games. Yeah, US Game System. It's a new deck this year, I believe. Pretty sure it is, if I remember right from my catalog. I love the imagery. Look at the ends of these the imageries they've put on the box. It's just, I like the artist. I think the artist, Olivia Rose, I think that's what's got me intrigued more than anything, is the artwork. So it's got a nice little chunky book here. It's probably, no, it's all in English. So I would assume that whatever country you purchase it in, it'll match accordingly, or language should match accordingly. Acknowledgements. I would like to say a huge thanks to my family who have supported and encouraged me every step of the way through the creation of this deck. Also, thank you, US Game Systems Inc., for believing in me, giving me the opportunity to share my tarot with the world. Pretty basic there. Yeah, it's 2023, so it is a new deck. Introduction. No one could have prepared me for this wonderful project. For the last few years, I have fully immersed myself in the world of tarot and went into it initially completely unaware of the depth of magic that each card can pose. So that's kind of interesting. My Mind's Eye Tarot illustrations are all created by hand using watercolor paper, markers, gold ink, and tea. Each drawing is energetically charged, positive, loving energy from myself. I have always enjoyed creating art intuitively, so each card has been made in that way. I found that while working on this deck, I would take on the emotions of the card and give me a deeper understanding of each card and the emotions I wanted to convey in the art. Like I said, the artwork is just fascinating to me. The symbolism and forms you see in each card were created using the energy and imagination I felt while I was thinking of the meaning behind each card. For me, the most important thing about this deck is that it tells a story that can guide the user. I drew strong inspiration from the Wiate Smith deck, as that was the first system I became familiar with. I wanted to maintain a lot of the symbolism and structure aligned with it, so that even less experienced readers would be able to use this deck with ease. Remember, all the answers to your questions are within. Sometimes you just need a little helpful hand to find them. Olivia Rose. Very good. Very nice little introduction. Look at this. You get full images, full size, well, probably a little bit reduced images. And oh God, the colors are just spectacular. It looks like it's going to be a very feminine deck. It looks like pretty much all the major arcana are women. female imagery, which I am fine with. I don't have a problem with that. She's trying to represent herself, so it goes along with that. You know, nothing else needs to be said. Yeah, it looks like it's all going to be pretty much feminine imagery, and each card, the book doesn't have a lot. It looks like we're going to have some pip styles along with the Wiate Smith. Well, kind of a blend. It might be just the specific certain cards. I know that there are certain cards that they're hard to represent in imagery, and I think a lot of tarot creators tend to lean more towards the number when it comes to that, which is fine. I think that it works. You know, as long as it all flows together, it works. Anyways, yeah, so you get a full page image, and then you get, it's just a small blip, you know, with the description, the upright meaning, reverse meaning. Yeah, it is a description of the image, which is nice. I like that. Is it? It doesn't necessarily give a description of her rendition, or just the general rendition of the Wiate Smith description of the cards. Yeah. So it's not, doesn't necessarily dive into actually what she put in there, but she took the general meanings. So that's a little disappointing, but that's okay. I can live with it. I don't always use the books anyways, but it's gorgeous. I love looking at these. Like I said, the images are what really got me so inspired into this deck. So you got your nice hard box. Ooh, look at that. You got some nice gilded edges. It's got a nice insert in there to hold the deck in tight. Let me see if I can get this open. Turn the air conditioner off because it was making so much noise. It's trying to heat up in here already. So let's try to get through this as quickly as we can without disturbing the air loss that's happening very quickly now. Go ahead and move this. Ooh, slickery, slickery, slickery. Look at all that beautiful gold imagery. Gold edging. The backs are kind of like the line work in the artwork. Very interesting. Looks like you can do reversals if you do reversals. Personally, I don't, but you can. Let's start with this one here. I'm going to do it this way because I'm working with such a limited space with my phone here. So you got the Fool. You don't have the normal dog that's there, but you do have the stick and the journey. The journey image comes across. And being watched, which I find really fascinating. I love the flower up here at her throat. Which to me, a lot of times when it comes to throat, is communication, speaking your mind, speaking your truths. So journeying into the world with speaking your truths, and turn it that way. And then we got the Magician. The Magician again. You definitely get the Wiate Smith imagery from it, or idea from it, but it doesn't necessarily look like a Wiate Smith deck, which I like a lot. She's got all the elements represented there. Her eyes are closed, which gives you a centering feeling. Again, the line work around in her chest and face area kind of gives you that focus. And you still got the eyes watching you, which is really cool. The High Priestess, the eye is in the mind. That's really cool. I like that. And I love the flow, like an energy flow within her, which kind of gives you that focus. The Empress. This could almost go as a queen, like a Queen of Wands. The imagery does not necessarily reflect motherhood or hearth and home or that type of thing. So, you know, it doesn't necessarily flow into the meaning as much as I would have liked. Don't necessarily see that in the emotions of her face either. So it's a beautiful image though. I love it. I think it's a beautiful artwork. Without the title at the bottom, I would probably, it could be confusing for a beginner. The Emperor, that's interesting. The Emperor's got the sun. Okay, yeah, it's got the sun. It's got the goat head, the ram, that male masculinity that normally represented in the emperors. You got the Ankh. You don't get the, well, I guess you can kind of see, you get the symmetry of the sun's rays coming out, and the geometry and the structure. Again, that eyes watching is just amazing to me. I like that. But you can get it, especially with the ram's head on there. Hierophant, you got the cross, I always want to call it the Heretic's Cross, but it's not the Heretic's Cross. What is it? Oh, drawing a blank. Anyways, you see it quite often, especially in representation of the, is it the Hierophant? Yeah, I've seen it in the Hierophant before, but Joan of Arc type stuff, which you kind of get that feel from this. I love the keys. I love the keys a lot. It's kind of like the Hecate, nod to Hecate type thing. I'm kind of getting the feeling there's a little bit of, not that it looks like it, but I get kind of the feel of Mary White's deck. Why am I drawing a blank on the name? I don't know why. It's my favorite deck. One of my favorite. Well, it is my favorite deck. It's my heart and soul deck. Anyways, Mary White. You know who I'm talking about. Love that deck. But I kind of get that feeling from it. Anyways, the Lovers. Now this one, again, is very feminine, but it seems feminine on both sides. So you kind of get that that inclusive feeling with it, which is kind of nice. I like how one person has their eyes open, the other one doesn't. It's almost more of a communication type deck, communication type card. I see more than, you know, an actual lovers and, you know, that type of thing. But you can see the bond between the two characters. And again, the eyes watching. I love that. The Chariot, that's kind of cool. You get, at first I saw fish and now I see birds. Very interesting as the or even a single, no, it's not a single owl because it's off center. That's really cool. I like it. I like the balance of it, the structure of the chariot. You know, she's got the ribbon that she's pulling, guiding it one direction or the other. Again, there's that emphasis on the throat again. Communication, strength. Falling back on the lion, almost like the inner lion within oneself comes across on this more than it is her subduing her strengths or capturing the strength. It's just part of her. I like that. The Hermit, hiding within the cave, within the womb, finding yourself before you can actually go out again and make changes. It's that taking shelter till you're ready. The Wheel of Fortune. Don't necessarily see all the elements, but you definitely get the idea of good versus evil, or, you know, positive, negative, the snake, the healing and the poisonous aspects. Ooh, it's starting to heat up in here pretty good. So let's get moving. Justice, the sword of justice. Again, the eyes. I love that. Her standing in her power. There's the weights and measures are on her shoulders. That's kind of cool. The Hanged Man. It's interesting. Just kind of hanging upside down. You don't necessarily are hanging, but you can feel that hanging feeling, that perspective feeling, that change. This one, her heart is the emphasis, and the third eye. So that's really kind of cool. I like those representations within the Hanged Man, that perspective, you know, and listening to other parts of yourself. I wanted to flip it over. Death. General, you know, general death. I don't know if it moves me into that transformational phase or not. Kind of with all the flower work. Probably it represents more the ending of things. Temperance. I always love temperance with the, I always see it as knowing your limitations, what you can, you know, what you can and can't do. And she does have the blending of the waters, and it's quite beautiful. The representation of the wings is interesting, almost like a fallen angel type representation. I like that. The devil, usually that's bad habits, addiction, repetitive actions that are destructive, abdicating your powers, things like that. I don't necessarily get that from this, but you do see her kind of walking off the page, off the picture. I guess I would probably look at that more as needing to step away from what you've been doing, or be careful walking into it. Interesting. Okay, not sure on that one. The tower. The tower is doesn't necessarily, it shows it kind of on fire, but not necessarily crumbling down. Yeah, coming from the base, you know, with your own general knowledge of the deck, you should be able to get through that okay. The star. It's really starting to get warm in here. Wishing on a star. It almost looks like she's praying, and the eyes are watching. She looks a little forlorn and sad, coming from a place of desperate need almost. The moon is always the shadowy stuff. I get more of a feeling a time of rest, time to stay away from doing things. Maybe not a good time to take action on stuff. Take a break, which there are other cards that can represent that. It'd been interesting if things were a little out of a focus on that side. Would make a little bit more sense to me, but that's okay. That's just my opinion, which is just my opinion. It's just this would be a very easy deck for a beginner to read, for the most part. Like I said, it does take on the Wiate Smith very clearly. You got the sun. I'm glad it doesn't have a baby. It just shows the brightness. You see the solar plexus emphasized, and the breasts, and the throat, and the third eye. Everything's there, and then you've got that radiant spirit coming out the top of her head. So, and then you can see the flow down and the flow out, which is really awesome. I love that. Judgment. Yeah, she looks a little judgy, like she's looking at you like, what are you telling us, or what are you not telling me? You know, think about those things when you get that card. The world, it's dark. I wonder if it was meant to be that dark. Look at how bright these other ones are. That one's really dark. Interesting. I wonder why it's so dark. Here you've got elements all represented around there. Her holding the world. I get the feeling of like the four winds or the four corners, watching from all angles. That's kind of cool. So anyways, I'm going to take a quick look at what it says about the world. And I want to see. Oh, that's interesting. It is a little darker than the other images. Definitely is. I'm not sure if the print quality on that card came out the way she wanted it, but it is a little darker, but the card is very, very dark, to the point of being a little distracting. I'd say it's a print issue. So we got Ace of Wands, you know, basic Ace of Wands, beautiful, like that. Two of Wands, standing in a doorway. Three of Wands, needing to step through that doorway and take action. I like that she's got wings. Oh, you know what? Forgot what I was doing here. Flipping them over so we don't get confused. Four of Wands. I like that. That's an excellent representation. Very much inclusive for the LGBTQ, GTQ, whatever it is. I can never get those acronyms right. Anyways, Five of Wands. You kind of get that confusion, that blocking going on there, which is kind of, you know, you get that feeling, even though it's more of a pip. Six of Wands, celebration, triumph, come riding in. Doesn't necessarily look really happy though, so I don't know about that. Seven of Wands. Moving forward. Eight of Wands. Again, that more pip style, but it's kind of common for this card. Things moving quickly. Nine of Wands, being challenged. 10 of Wands, the burdens we carry. Page of Wands. Interesting. Sitting on a mushroom. It's very fey. That's one thing. This is like a liminal deck. This is very much in that liminal spirit, that liminal realm, between the lands of reality and our reality and other worlds, which is really nice. So, page, knight, I love that font. Riding a dragonfly. Queen of Wands. King of Wands, again. Very feminine deck. Very, very, very much a feminine deck. Ace of Cups. I like that. Two of Cups. I like that a lot. That partnership again. Coming together, the partnership. This one almost feels a little bit more emotionally charged than the Lovers did, which is kind of cool. Three of Cups, that celebration card for me. A lot of times it represents birthing to me. That and Ace of Cups tend to be the birth cards for me. Four of Cups. Gotta stick together. This is always the wanting more. Yeah, she's actually in the water. You know what that reminds me of? That one reminds me of the Ostara deck where she's in the water. I like this one much better than the Ostara deck. But yeah, almost that feeling of drowning, you know? Five of Cups. To me, that was always the spilled milk cup, the card. Crying over spilled milk. 6 of Cups. We'll put it this way. I think 4 and 5 could easily be confused in this deck. 6 of Cups, is that giving? I like that. Giving of the emotion. 7 of Cups are all the choices. Beautiful representation of the Wiate Smith. I like that. Very unique. 8 of Cups, walking away. Letting it all go, walking away, creating a new, so you can find yourself again. Love that. Now, if the Devil card, was it the Devil? Yeah. She was walking to the left, and that one she's walking to the right. The right is walking away, the left is walking towards. Something to contemplate on this deck. 9 of Cups. 10 of Cups. That's kind of that wish card. Well, that's kind of nice. I think that's the first image that's taken on a little bit more of a masculine face or partial face in the whole deck. So far, it's beautiful. I just love the art. The art itself is just evokes its own emotion to you. I think that's the biggest thing about this that's got me so intrigued, is the emotion I get from it, the feeling, which is what she was trying to convey from what she described in her introduction. Page of Cups. Oh my God, that is so sweet. Messages of love. Embracing them. Knight of Cups. Going after it. Making it happen. Queen of Cups. Kind of a selfish love you get out of this one. It doesn't feel open, which some people say that's an honest representation of the Queen of Cups, is more of a selfish love, which is interesting. I would see that more as a reversal, not necessarily a upright representation. Depends on how you read them. Everybody reads it a little bit differently. King of Cups. That one, again, we're getting a little bit of masculine in that. I find that interesting, because we're more than halfway through the deck at this point. Ace of Swords, 2 of Swords. This one I get more of, instead of blind choices, I get more a feeling of being blocked, being forced to go another way, or not make the decisions that you want to make. Maybe a non-decision is better. 3 of Swords, that's that heartbreak card. I like that. It's not too violent, but you do see it going through the heart. But it's more of a, it flows with the design of her dress and everything else. Very interesting. I get the feeling, even though her eyes are closed, keep your eyes open, because she's got eyes open on all the swords. So that's interesting. The rest, 4 of Swords, that resting. 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords is definitely that picking up the pieces. You know, you lost the battle, time to pick up the pieces and move on. 6 of Swords, flowing to safety. I like that. She's under control of her own boat and making it go where it needs to go. 7 of Swords is that theft card. Feeling like you've been robbed. Almost get more of a feeling of hang on to what you've got, because you don't know when you're going to lose it. 8 of Swords is that feeling of being trapped, held in bondage, not being able to move forward. The Nightmare card, staying in your head too much. Oops. Ten of Swords. That feeling of defeat. But you get the feeling that she's melting away here. Ooh, light changed. Let me see if I can open up the window a little more. The blinds. There we go. Get a little bit more light on that. Clouds must have rolled over. Ten of Swords. Page of Swords. Again, that messages. You get the feeling that these messages are coming from the clouds, from just the world around you. So that's kind of cool. Knight of Swords, again, taking action. Ooh, flying a raven. I like that. Almost like the Valkyries. That's pretty cool. I like that. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords, I always thought of that one as off with your head. Off with their heads. Taking command, taking charge of what is said, what is enacted upon, you know, that type of thing. You don't want to mess with the Queen of Swords. We'll put it that way. She will set you on the straight and narrow. King of Swords. Leaning back towards the feminine again, which is nice. Ace of Pentacles, beautiful card. Two of Pentacles. Don't necessarily get a juggling act, but maybe more of a flowing going on there, trying to keep things flowing. Three of Pentacles. And that's kind of interesting because usually that is a representation with working with others, you know, the mastery of your craft and working with others and making things happen together as a unit. And I don't see that here. There is a Pandora's box-like situation going on. I'll have to, I'm just kind of curious. Let's take a look and see what she has to say. Like I said, I don't think she necessarily described her pictures completely. Oh, it's a pot with a plant. Oh, okay. Three of Pentacles shows a woman gently holding a pot that contains fruits of her labor, growing and budding into beautiful plants. The Three of Cups. Wait. The Three of Cups. I think that's a misprint because that's Pentacles. The Three of Cups is all about craftsmanship, pride in work. Well done. Yeah, we got a typo here. Sorry, Rose. I found a typo in your book. That's Three of Pentacles, not Three of Cups. Didn't mean to point that out, but apparently it's there. So you get that craftsmanship thing. Though I think is it Seven of Pentacles also does that craftsmanship thing. I think three to me has always represented more of working together with people. So that one doesn't quite play into my way of reading. Four of Pentacles has always been that balancing act. Some people see it as being greedy. I see it more as being stable and secure. Maybe a little bit of holding on too tight. Might be time to start thinking about releasing some of what you hold on to dearly, you know. It's just material shit. Time to let go. Five of Pentacles is that down and out. But they're walking into the light, which is kind of cool. So maybe the left and right thing isn't, but again, they're walking into, whereas the other one's walking away. So there might be something to that, walking away and walking towards. Six of Pentacles. Did I screw up on Six of Cups? Six of Cups was remembering the past. I may have screwed up when I was reading Six of Pentacles earlier. Six of Cups is more the it's not the generosity thing. It is more of I don't know. This one comes across more as sharing her love. I'm not that's probably why, is because I wasn't reading that remembering the past and looking back where you came from. I suppose it could be because she's maybe that's supposed to be her as a little girl, when she was younger, looking back at where you came from to move forward. And yeah, obviously I was not, what did I do with it? What did I do with it? There it is. No, that's not it. 3. All right, I lost 4 of Pentacles, or 6 of Pentacles. No, there it is. Ugh, confused myself. So then 6 of Pentacles is more that generosity, it's that giving to others, sharing. I guess those are supposed to be ladles. Is that ladles that she's holding? Let me look at the book really quick. 6 of Pentacles is shown here as a regal angel glowing while emitting bright light. In one hand she holds the scale, no, they're scales, while handing out coins with the other. Oh, okay, I see the coins now. Giving and sharing scale represents the fairness and equality. Okay, so that makes sense. So that one definitely makes sense. The other one, I got a little confused with the child and the adult. I can see it now, so it won't confuse me again. 7 of Pentacles. Is that harvest? I found it interesting that Marcus Katz was saying that the 7 of Pentacles, everybody sees it as a good harvest type card. And if you look at the Wiate Smith deck, it is actually, if you look at the character, he's sad, he's not happy. And basically, you're looking at a failed harvest, and you need to make a decision as to what you're going to keep and what you're going to let go, because it was basically a failure to thrive type card, which is interesting. So totally different than how most of us have learned to read the 7 of Pentacles as. So, okay, 8 of Pentacles. So yeah, that's that craftsmanship card. I find it interesting how the line going up the side and the one in her hands is a standard Wiate Smith positioning of the Pentacles for that card. It always seems to come across in everybody's artwork, or at least most of them. 9 of Pentacles, the garden card. I love her eyeball bird. That's so cool. Oh, that's been one thing really nice up here this year. We got hummingbirds. I bought a hummingbird feeder last time we were up here, and we didn't get any hummingbirds at all. It was really kind of sad. And this morning we got hummingbirds. It was so cool. Even the kids were fascinated because they were like fluttering at their eye level. It was just really cool. They really came and checked us out, and were you almost feel like they were trying to communicate with us, which was really cool. Anyways, off topic. 10 of Pentacles. So yeah, just having everything, being surrounded by it. I like all the little doorways or windows peeking in there, which is really awesome. Page of Pentacles. I like how the pages are kind of like always grabbing for something, reaching for it, trying to get hold of it. It puts you more in an active position, whereas you are the one trying to reach for it, trying to grab for it, trying to understand it, instead of just a young person kind of giving it to you. You know, it makes more sense when you are the active participant in making things happen, or becoming understanding of things. Knight of Pentacles, again, riding a butterfly this time. That's gorgeous. Queen of Pentacles, she's looking right at you. She's looking right at you like saying, you can do this. You are the one that has control of this. King of Pentacles. a little bit more masculine here, but then again, not really. But it's yeah, it's gorgeous. You get more that feeling of looking ahead or dreaming of the future. What are you going to have happen? Or just sitting back and enjoying what you've got. His eyes are kind of closed and just almost in the position of a kiss. His mouth is, so it's kind of cool. I like that. So, all right, so that is the mind's eye. I think it definitely does what the artist wanted it to do, and that is to evoke emotion from each card in each setting. Only had a little confusion with a couple of them. But for the most part, like I said, I think the biggest one would probably be the Empress. The male symbol down here can kind of make up for it. I think if she would have worked some pomegranates into that or something, it would have come across a little bit clearer what she represents in this, sticking to the Wiate Smith ideas, because it could be misinterpreted as a Queen card if you didn't have the labels at the bottom. Death card's okay. It's kind of blatant. It just doesn't exude anything more than just that. I think the Devil card and the Star card are very thought-provoking. Maybe same thing with the Moon card, a little different perspective than just shadowy things, you know, hard to tell. It's more like look inside yourself first. Not that we don't have that in other cards. I do think this might be a printing issue. I could be wrong, but I feel like it needs to be brightened just a hair, just enough, because you almost lose imagery in the darker areas of her face and stuff. And maybe she meant that, I don't know. Seems like there was one other one that I was kind of lost perspective on. Oh, I think it was the Six of Cups, where it's now that I know where my mistake was, it's easily converted in my mind that this is more of a looking at your childhood, or it reminds me of an instance with a gal that I had that I was doing some work with, and trying to show her childhood, and she was refusing to look at it, and she looked at it in such a negative way that it kind of took me off guard, and I kind of get that feeling from this card for some reason. I think that's it. I think those were those I think it was 3 that were a little bit more confusing. But for the most part, I think this deck comes across very clear, with a few little extra tidbits in there for Wiate Smith readers. So anyways, that is the Mind's Eye Tarot by Olivia Rose. I think it's a gorgeous, gorgeous deck. Highly recommend it. It's a beautiful art piece, if nothing else. I know a lot of us collect mostly because we like the art, and it just adds to the collection that much. It's stunning. Anyways, I am going to flip the camera. I'm back. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful deck. I think you'll enjoy it. I have it here with my for Hoxa Tarot, and I'm thinking the two could blend together very nicely. I would love to see if this Olivia Rose has a oracle deck of some sort that might complement this one to go with it. I might have to look that up and see if something's out there, because I feel like I've seen her artwork before. I could be wrong, but I'll have to look that up. Anyways, oh, this is my husband's dragon. No guard. Don't know why you named it that. And Fallon says bye-bye too. He says bye-bye. And we got to get the air on in here because it is getting very toasty. So we'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye.